Hello everyone, it's Eagle of Zeus here again, and I'm back with another video, and in this video I wanted to talk about mythology, because another thing that I see a lot from beginners is they seem to take mythology literally, like all of it literally happened the way the myths say it did. Kind of like how Christians take the Bible literally. But in Hellenismos, we don't really take the myths literally. I believe personally, this is just my personal beliefs. I mean, we all have our own personal beliefs. If you do take the myths literally, I mean, that's you, but I mean, we have proof that they were just stories. Um, so, but anyway, for my personal beliefs, I do believe that there's truth in all the myths, but I believe that, how to put it, that the myths are things that really happened, but kind of a fantasy spin on it, or and kind of basically turning something into like a entertaining story. Some myths were written for just that, entertainment. Some myths were written for, to teach lessons. Um, things like that. I believe some of the myths were told through people, like the gods told them through people. Um, but as we know, myths vary depending on the location, you know, depending on location, such as, when myths travel, like from one area to another, they might change. Like the parents of some of the gods are different depending on, the areas you're looking at and stuff like that, is what I mean. Um, Like, for example, one of my favorite stories is the story of the Trojan War. We have proof. We do have proof that the Trojan War really happened, but, did the gods really come down from the heavens and fight alongside mortals? That probably not. I mean, I'm sure they felt like the gods were with them. I'm sure I'm sure the gods were with them, but not physically, is what I mean. If you read the Iliad, the gods are like physically there, but I do believe the gods were with them, but not physically. So that's what I mean when I say that, there's truth in the myths, but they're kind of exaggerated for entertainment. But as I was saying about the Iliad, we do have proof that the Trojan War happened. But for example, Achilles, my favorite Greek hero, my patron hero, well, one of my patron heroes, there's a myth that says that, he was indestructible except for his heel. His heel was his only vulnerable place. But in reality, I don't think that's true. I think that was just made up, because he was such a great fighter, they thought he couldn't be killed. Um, and maybe he got shot in the heel, and that was like the fatal blow, because he had gotten shot other times. So maybe when they shot him in the heel and he died, they thought, oh, his only weakness is his heel. But I don't think that that's true, and, I really don't feel. This is just my UPG though. I really don't feel like that's true. I feel like he, you know, was just could be killed like any other man, basically. Um, but stuff like that. Um, uh, Myths vary depending on where they're from and stuff like that. I'm not saying that mythology is pointless or, it's completely untrue. That's not what I'm saying. There is truth in all the myths, and, I believe creatures such as the Gorgon, the Minotaur, the centaurs, stuff like that, I do believe that they're real. Maybe not physically real. They might be like spiritually real. They might be like spirits. They may have been physically real. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm leaning more towards that they're more like spirits, like daimons. But it, like I said, it really depends on people's personal beliefs, but we know for a fact that the myths are not 100% literal. We have proof that they're mainly just stories, but they do teach, valuable lessons, life lessons and things like that. That's what we get from them. We shouldn't really focus on whether they really literally happened or not. We should focus on the lessons that they teach us and what we learn from them and things like that. But because of the myths, a lot of people have bad thoughts about some of the gods, namely Zeus and Hera. A lot of people think, Zeus assaulted people, well, mainly assaulted women, and Hera was this, was jealous and mean and cruel. But that's not how they are in real life. That's just the myths. Humans wrote these myths. And they gave the gods human emotions such as jealousy and things like that. But that's not how these gods really are in real life. You can't take mythology, you can't go to mythology as a source for how to get a feel for the gods' personalities. You're not going to find it in mythology. The way to know how the gods really are is through cult worship, through festivals, through epithets, through priests and priestesses that honored these gods. That's how you're going to find, or at least get an idea of their true personalities and how the Greeks really saw them outside of mythology. Because mythology, even back in ancient Greece, mythology was just stories, and I read somewhere that a lot of the priests, or some of the priests, didn't like mythology because of how negatively it portrayed some of the gods. And they knew that, the future would look back at mythology and think badly about some of the gods, namely Zeus. Because the ancient Greeks loved Zeus. I mean, he's the father of mankind, he's the king of the gods. And if you look at some of Zeus's epithets, he has the epithet of father, protector, things like that. He's a god of justice and, law and order, things like that. And he's a good god, he's not like how he is in the myths. So if you want to get a feel for how the gods really are and their true personalities, yeah, look into cult worship and how the ancients really worshipped them, and the festivals and the epithets and everything, because that's where you're going to find how the gods really are, or at least get an idea. To really find out how the gods really are, you have to connect with them yourself. Pray and pray to them, meditate with them. That's how you're really going to get a feel for their true personalities. But just to get an idea, look into cult worship and festivals and epithets and things like that. But don't go to mythology if you're looking for an idea of how the gods are personality-wise and things like that. Mythology is for, learning lessons and for entertainment, That's what they were written for. But so that's what I wanted to say in this video, is to just not take mythology completely literally, because yeah, we know that they were just stories. So yeah, that's all I want to say in this video, and I will see you guys in the next video, and may the gods bless you all. Bye.